Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are safe and healthy. Today, we are going to start with our new lesson, the High Court and the Subordinate Courts. High Court is the highest judiciary in the state. At present, there are 25 High Courts in our country. 4 among them have jurisdiction over more than one state. Guwahati High Court. Uh, Guwahati High Court enjoys the jurisdiction over 4 states: Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, and Nagaland. Earlier, it had jurisdiction over the states of Manipur, Meghalaya, and Tripura also. But for these 3 states, separate high courts have been established in March 2013. Chandigarh High Court has jurisdiction over 2 states, Haryana and Punjab. Bombay or Mumbai High Court has jurisdiction over states of Maharashtra and Goa. Hyderabad High Court was common for Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, but the 25th High Court is Telangana High Court. Among the Union Territories, only Delhi has a High Court. Content which we will cover in this lesson are the composition and organization of the High Court and the subordinate courts. Composition. Each High Court has a Chief Justice and such other judges as the President may appoint from time to time. The number of judges of the High Court is not fixed. Therefore, their number varies from state to state. Then, appointment of the judges. The Chief Justice of High Court is appointed by the President of India in consultation with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the Governor of that concerned state. The appointment of other judges shall also be made in the same manner, except that in their cases the Chief Justice of the High Court shall also be consulted. The Supreme Court ruled that the Chief Justice of India should consult 2 senior-most judges of the Supreme Court before making any recommendation to the President in this regard. Qualification of the judges. First of all, he or she should be citizen of India. He or she should have held a judicial office in India for at least 10 years, or one should have been advocate of a high court for at least 10 years. The qualification a distinguished jurist which have been added by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976 was omitted by the 44th Amendment Act 1978. Subordinate courts. These courts mainly work under in the district level. There are various subordinate courts in our country. The organization and the structure of the subordinate courts are uniform throughout the country. Each state is divided into a number of districts, and each district has a district court, which is presided by the district judge. There are civil courts, criminal courts, and the court of revenue in every district. Court of district judge. The district judge is the highest court of the district, and it decides both criminal and the civil cases. A judge who decides civil cases is known as a district judge, and a judge who decides the criminal cases is known as the session judge. The judge who decide the cases or give decision in the civil cases, he is considered as district judge, and who is decided or take decision in the criminal cases, who is considered as session judge. Appeals against the decision made by the district judge can be made in the High Court if the amount involved in the case is more than 5,000 rupees. If anybody is not satisfied with the judgment of the district judge, then he or she can go to High Court if the amount of the punishment or amount of the fine is more than 5,000 rupees. A person desiring to become a district judge should have been an advocate for at least 7 years in Union Judicial Service or State Public Service Commission. Sometimes a district judge may act as deputy commissioner or the district collector. In that capacity, he maintains law and order and supervises the collection of revenues also. Sometimes the district judge act as deputy commissioner and the district collector also. In that case, he is having other responsibilities also. He has to maintain law and order, and he or she should supervise the collection of revenue of that area. Then Court of Civil Judge. The Court of Civil Judge hear the cases which involve money from 2,000 to 5,000 rupees. Appeal against this decision, the decision of this court can be made before a district judge. Munsif Court. A Munsif Court deals with the civil cases which involve less than 2,000 rupees. Appeals against this his decision can be made to the in the court of the civil judge. Other than this, small courts are also there. Small courts are headed by the junior magistrates and deal with the cases where the money involved is too less. It varies from state to state. There can be no appeal against their decision. Cases valuing up to the rupees 1,000 can be heard by small courts in Delhi, and cases involved up to the rupees 10,000 can be decided by small courts in Mumbai. What is the term of the office of the judges of this district court? The district judge and the additional district judges are appointed by the governor in the consultation with the judges of the High Court. All other judges are appointed through competitive exams held by the State Public Service Commission. Functions. The district judge exercise administrative control over all civil courts in the district. Cases pertaining to the revenue are heard by the revenue court. Appeals can be made to the higher courts. So appeals against the decision of the Munsif Court can be made in the district court. Appeal against the decision of the district court can be made in the High Court. Criminal courts. Criminal courts deal with the cases related to murder, robbery, theft, assault, etc. The criminal courts can be classified into the following categories. Session Court. It is the highest criminal court and is presided by the district judge. The court deals with the serious offences. The Court of Chief Judicial Magistrate. It deals with the less serious offence and cannot award the life or the death sentence. Court of the First Class Magistrate. It deals with the less serious cases and can award up to 3 years of sentence or fine of the fine up to 5,000 rupees. Court of the Second Class Magistrate. These courts can sentence a person to imprisonment for up to 2 years or can levy fines up to 1,000 rupees. Court of the Third Class Magistrate. These courts with quarrel or writing deals with quarrels or the writing is these courts can sentence a person to imprisonment for up to 1 month or can levy fines up to the rupees 50. India has a single integrated judicial system, which means that appeals from lower courts can be made to the higher courts. Courts of revenue, which deal with the cases related to maintenance of land record and the collection of the land revenue. Board of Revenues. It is the highest court in cases related to revenue in the state. It can be hear appeals against the decision taken by the revenue courts placed under it. Commissioner's Court. A commissioner look after the assessment and the collection of the revenue of all districts. Collector's Court. This court is headed by the Deputy Commissioner of the state. He helped the revenue department in the assessment and collection of the land revenue. Tehsildar is responsible for collection of revenue. Naib Tehsildar is the lowest court and hear cases related to the assessment of land revenue and collection of the property tax from the farmers. Lok Adalat. Lok Adalat means court of people. It gives legal help and quick justice to people who can't engage lawyers or bear the cost of legal proceedings. The judges of Lok Adalat are actually counselors. Lok Adalats are helped by the legal aid committee and help people to solve cases through mutual understanding. They help the opposing party to reach a compromise and agree with each other. The first Lok Adalat was held in Delhi on 6th October 1985. The Legal Service Authority Act, passed in 1987, directs the state government to organize Lok Adalats from time to time. The system of Lok Adalat has become so popular that many government departments like the telephone department and the electricity board have began to hold Lok Adalat for solving cases. It is important to organize Lok Adalat as they tend to promote the social justice and to solve pending cases. There are family courts are also there. Those also have been set up in the cities which have a population of more than 10 lakh. It has been recommended by the parliamentary committee to set up one family court in every city. What are the advantages of the Lok Adalats? It reduces the workload of the higher courts. It gives quick and inexpensive justice. It clears blockage of the cases, help opposing parties to reach a compromise, creating an environment of goodwill. The Lok Adalat work on the spirit of compromise. No one nourishes feeling of anger or unhappy. Both the party feel that they have been treated fairly. Lok Adalat delivers speedy and inexpensive justice. One can move Lok Adalat by an application on a plain paper or format available with legal service authorities. Weaker section of society cannot afford the cost involved in the court procedure. Lok Adalat therefore tend to promote social justice. Awards passes by the Adalat are final and binding on the parties. Ordinarily, no appeal lies before any court against its award. Lok Adalat can pass award regarding those disputes also which are at pre-litigation stage. In other words, before taking the matter to a court of the law, any party can move Lok Adalat for settlement of the dispute. The Lok Adalat shall reduce the workload of the subordinate courts. Thanks, beta. You can go with your books also for details. And if you have any problem, you can talk to me anytime. Thanks. God bless you.